Hey, hi everyone. Question. Does anyone know who Joe Biden's favorite superhero is? Joe Biden, our 44th president. 46. I don't know. Whoever it is. But Joe Biden. Who's Joe Biden's favorite superhero? Answer. You know the thing. Hey, on that note, welcome to another practically unscripted marble mouth edition of last week's exciting reading adventure, which takes its cue from it presents the what if scenario. What if Joe Biden reviewed comics? So, our first issue, and I got notes to talk here. So, our first issue we're covering practically picking up from last week where I was doing the mid like 72, 73 issues. And this little one here, I will start with is 137. Oops, should like that. 137. Well, maybe it's better this way. I think it's better this way when I do it. So this issue is a continuation of an issue that I don't have. And it's kind of a really strange scenario here. I don't know fully. I mean, I guess it was explained in part one, but in this one, 137, Slugger Johnson, some kind of wannabe scientist. He somehow managed to transform the Fantastic Four into some kind of time frame where it's like 1950s mixed in with medieval times and such. Slugger Johnson, and somehow he runs afoul of the a scroll-like being called the. We'll get there. I'm just going to flip through the pages here. This is the creature in the cover. The creature in this cover here, the warhead. I better do it this way because the counters like this. Is he sort of resembles a creature modeled from the 1953 film Robot Monster, crossbred with King Kong, while his head is patterned after the Russian satellite Sputnik, which was launched into space in 1957. There's some crazy stuff that goes. I mean, this thing goes back and forth. But anyway, this is here's the page here. This is where you see it's the title's called Rumble of Planet 3, and it's scripted by Jerry Conway with John Buscemi and Joe Sinnott, the greatest team to succeed Jack Kirby, as far as I'm concerned. And I mean, Jerry Conway is that writer. He's not known for being too much of a comic book writer anymore. He's more of a TV show writer now, having scripted numerous episodes of Law and Order. And my surprise, at work, when I'm doing residuals research, I was surprised to find through some records that he wrote a giant number of Diagnosis Murder episodes starring Dick Van Dyke, which is probably why he has a house in Thousand Oaks right now, because that's Dick Van Dyke's neighborhood. Anyway, he's a good friend of my friend Elliot Magan, and let's flip through this book here. Like I said, this is like they're in a 1950s medieval setting, but yet there's a lot of 1950s type of thing going on, especially with Johnny Storm. He's hanging out with a biker gang in this issue that sort of resembles Marlon Brando in The Wild Ones. Look at the hairstyle here, and there's some other crazy stuff going on. Oh, here's the guy. Here's the guy. I remember this guy from The Incredible Hulk. What's his name? The Shaper. Okay, the Shaper's is creating all this world. And he makes Slugger Johnson look like Albert Einstein. There's also other stuff going on. Jerry Conway, he was like Steve Gerber, was certainly writers who were injecting a lot of social and political views in their work. There's the so there's some African Americans dressed in the same way as the rest of these what do you call them, American patriot people, and this is some riff on the civil rights movement that started in 1954, according to my notes, and ending in 1968. To be honest, nothing much has changed since then. All the crazy, the tax on certain people's liberties. The whole, exacerbated by Trump, of course. There's a thing's taking a little joyride on one of these Wild Bunch, one of these air cycles or something. This is an interesting issue. It was an interesting issue from '78. I never read it originally. Next issue, which is according to the Miracle Man. Last Tuesday's read. Here's Fantastic Four, 138. What do my notes say on this? This has the return of the Miracle Man in it, which is a villain they haven't seen since issue 3 at the time. But he's been around a lot since then. He even took place in the last major event of Secret Wars. So, Reed Richards states that he wants to come back to them. They're still separated from the last time I talked about. And the thing mentions in this issue how he once fought in World War II, and he flew a B-29 bomber. Well, the Slime Time Scale Earth 66 future stories note that Ben was a test pilot for the military and not actually involved with combat. Alicia Masters entertains the idea of flying to Europe to find a cure for blindness. Most of this issue involves Wyatt Wingfoot seeking the help of the FF with his Kiwazi tribe against the Miracle Man, who's gained more powers from the spirit of his tribe, as recapped in this last appearance in FF3. Flipping through here, let's see, and there you see openness of Wyatt Wingfoot, and of course Jerry Conway and John Buscema. Another note about Jerry Conway, I haven't really forgiven him since I was like 10 years old when he killed off Gwen Stacy. I'm still smarting from that. Let me see. So Wyatt Wingfoot goes to help here. Reading the lurch here, and there's the subplot begins with a fellow tribe member runs afoul of one of the Miracle Man's illusions, which turns out to be one of these giant, huge rock creatures. Wow. No relation to the thing there. Whose funeral are they attending here? Oh no, this is actually Wyatt Wingfoot's graduation, which they had to attend to first before going off to help his tribe. And there's the chief explaining things there. Medusa was still a member of the Fantastic Four then. Here's the first appearance of the Miracle Man. He's got this huge, sleek black and white costume now. And here's the rock thing versus thing, I guess. Looks more like something from Stonehenge there, doesn't he? Neat ad for Savage Sword of Conan. And Miracle Man goes into his origin story. A recap part in FF3, and it also explains what happened after the FF defeated him and he got sent off to prison. And or like the guy who tried to shoot Trump yesterday, they're really monitor kooks and crazies. So they're left to their own devices where they can learn how to enhance their powers and then escape. Here's the here's the tribal, the spirit, the ancestors from White Wingfoot's tribe, and they give even more power, where he can levitate rocks and stuff and just create more havoc. And this issue ends on a cliffhanger, which I don't have, of them all falling in this giant crevice that the Miracle Man caused. Yeah, I seem to walk in a lot of subplots here without really going, and that was the beauty of Marvel Comics. They're always like a soap opera. One episode can lead to another. Also here, oh boy, this was one of my favorites. I do remember this one from 4th or 5th grade. Fantastic Four 140, featuring Annihilus, which I always thought would make a great name for a death metal band. I even suggested to my roommate who wanted to form a new band with his boss to do off to some side project what they used to be doing when they were playing another band together, but it never caught on. So a retro companion book reveals, there was a companion book that was done in the early 2000s, and it revealed a hidden battle that took place between his first appearance on the Annihilus' first battle with the FF Annual 6 to this issue. And that issue was Fantastic Four World's Greatest Comic Magazine, number 9, where student reads relationship, and that was... Annihilus exclaimed that this is like his second time he's fought the FF, but this is actually the 3rd or 4th time. He was also involved in early issues from 107 to 110, and I guess Jerry Conway didn't get the memo on that one. So Reed and Sue are still separated. And I think they don't get together to another 8 months or so. So technically they were split for a year and a half as Medusa became the temp replacement. So going through this issue, this is a great shot of Nihilus right there. And this also does, this issue, like the last one I read, The Miracle, also ends on a backstory narrative. This is like the first time Reed has spoken in Sue in a while, because I think the last time they were together, he was knocked unconscious by that Gideon guy in Dragon Man. And Sue's been hanging out on the farm with her aunt and uncle and Franklin, and they run afoul of, hey, TV's newest superstar, Agatha Harkness, premiering this Wednesday on Disney Plus. Just a coincidence I have a story with her in it. Let's see what else. But that's a much older Agnes, not the one that's being portrayed today by Catherine's, what's her name? I don't have the notes in front of me. So what's happening here? Oh yeah. So big fight. Nihilus has somehow gained access to the negative zone and can now come into our plane of existence. And he encounters Ben Grimm there, and they have a big giant fight. And Medusa is helping out. And they all get knocked out. Wide Wingfoot is somehow revived, and he's told a bedtime story by Nihilus of how he came to be and stuff, and that's how that issue ended, on another cliffhanger. And they all get thrown into the negative zone, Wyatt included. So the last issue I have to talk to. Last Thursday I reread this classic, and I can tell you this is a an issue of great importance in my memory, because I read this during the time when my grandfather took me out to Montana, and I was running out of stuff to read. I remember bringing some science fiction books with me. I remember I brought some Harry Harrison stainless steel rat books to take with me that I read at this abandoned cabin. Not abandoned cabin, but it was a ski lodge that was rented out for the summer for a 2-week period. I think I stayed there. I went nuts. This was the only comic book I came across at a local 7-Eleven on our drive up to the cabin. And I must have read this issue maybe 2 or 3 times. It's Diablo's first appearance since issue 194, and in this issue, Sue expands the use of her powers, showing more skills in honing her force field powers. This is also John Byrne's first scripted and written issue. And one of the things I recently discovered yesterday while researching this book, Anchor, by John Hyan. He's no Swedish import. It's actually an anagram of John Byrne's name. So this is practically all John Byrne issue, with the exception of Jim Sulicrope and Jim Shooter's editing duties. So I also learned in this issue another strange factoid. Johnny meets up with his old girlfriend, Frankie Ray, who eventually becomes the Herald of Galactus Nova in later issues. And that's all John Byrne's doing. Frankie Ray is the stepdaughter of Phineas Horton, who was the creator of the original Human Torch. That is something I did not know. And this issue features the Diablo sending some elementals. They're like fire, water, air, and earth demons to fight them, and they have to switch off. Each elemental's close match to each one's ability, so they have to switch off fighting partners and defeat everything. There's a couple of things that I don't know how long the beast is able to hold his breath, but for a very long time in this issue he is immersed in a bubble. So another important part of this issue. This is why this book cost me like $50 from Brad Sloan. It had the Mark's Jewelers. These ads, they drive the book up in value. So I really don't care about it, but that's the way it was back in the days. Some were packaged, some issues were packaged with it, and some weren't. So another remarkable, notable thing, other than this being John Byrne's very first Fantastic Four written and drawn book, it also featured a cameo by Doctor Strange. And here's something else I did not know about this. The cameo of Doctor Strange is worth noting, since this is the period where Reed and Strange talked about forming the Illuminati. And I guess that's also maybe it's why this drove the book's value. This is the secret meeting. There was a secret meeting before Doctor Strange popped in to capture Diablo. And Diablo is not seen again until Iron Man issue 159, which I believe was an issue drawn by Steve Ditko with a cover by Paul Smith. And the Elementals have a return appearance again with Diablo in issue 306. And that's all I got for today. And be back next week for a talk about some Marvel team-up issues. All right, later.